ANC faces a credibility crisis, a number of its leaders on the wrong side of the law. On Wednesday, the High Court in Pretoria ruled that former President Jacob Zuma should return to prison to complete his 15-month sentence imposed by the Constitutional Court. The Department of Correctional Services has announced its decision to appeal the judgment. In a statement, the ANC says it has noted the judgment.
Into eyenzekele uComrade uJacob Zuma ibhlungu akazange aza applyele iparole yes ecourt asazi ukuthi kuthiwa why.
She says, "I'm not saying what I'm saying because I'm part of a faction, but what has happened to Comrade Jacob Zuma is painful. He didn't apply for parole. In court, we didn't know why they would say he must pay the costs now because he didn't grant himself parole. But also, people have been granted parole, Vote the Person and others, and I won't mention other names. Our problem is that when we are supposed to stand together and unite on many occasions, we would rather forgive the people who have oppressed us for more than 300 years.
And isikhathi esiningi sinqamela ukuxolela abantu abasenza sahlupheka for more than 300 years.
In her own matter, former Social Development Minister Bathabile Dlamini's application to have her acquitted in her perjury case was dismissed by Magistrate Betty Khumalo in the Johannesburg Magistrate's Court.
We welcome the ruling by the Johannesburg Magistrate's Court that dismissed the application by the former Minister of Social Development, Ms. Bathabile Dlamini, seeking a verdict of discharge on a count of perjury that is preferred against her. We maintained as the NPA that Ms. Dlamini has a case to answer, hence the matter was enrolled as we were of the view that there are prospects of a successful prosecution in this case. We are now encouraged by the fact that the defense has called its first witness to come and testify in court in defense of the accused. And we believe that the court will now be placed in a better position to consider the evidence in its entirety and thereafter pronounce on her guilt or innocence.
The case relates to a testimony at an inquiry established by the Constitutional Court into her role in the 2017 social grant crisis. The inquiry, headed by Judge Bernard Ngwebe, investigated whether Dlamini should be held personally liable for the costs of the South African Social Security Agency SASSA debacle. The judge found that Dlamini had been evasive when questions were put to her during the inquiry. This after the Constitutional Court had declared the contract between the company tasked with the distribution of social grants, Cash Paymaster Services, and SASSA illegal and invalid. Dlamini denies intentionally lying to the inquiry, a position disputed by the state. It alleged that Dlamini was sworn in as a witness and intentionally and wrongfully testified that the work streams did not directly report to her, that she did not attend the meetings of these work streams, nor was she briefed about the progress of the operations of the work streams.
It was not contractually required that the work stream leaders report directly to me, and they did not do so.
You understand what she says there, no?
Yes, I do.
The latter part of that statement.
Yes, I do. The work streams were, if they had to report, it was through me. So for me, the word directly does not cover how we were doing the report back. It was not the work streams directly reporting to the minister, but it was through me.
Did you not say a while back, or rather not long ago, that you and the work streams reported directly to the minister when you use the word we? You not say that, ma'am?
I said so, and further went on to explain what the fact that as the project lead, when I said we, I was referring to them, but not them individually outside me as the project lead.
Dlamini still enjoys the support of some members of the ANC, who claim the case against her is purely political and driven by factionalism. Dlamini is expected back in court on the 9th of February, where the case will resume for arguments on the merits of the case. Zoleka Qodashe, SABC News, Johannesburg.